You are here, listening to the whisper of a truth most men will die too afraid to admit. They call it dark psychology. I call it higher realism. Why are you always forgotten? You've attained success. You have the money, the status, but you still feel the weight you carry in the room is fragile. You have spent a lifetime building an empire, but the real question is, does that empire collapse the moment you step away? Are you ruling by constant effort or by irreplaceable necessity? The truth is, most people only reach the threshold of influence. They are listened to. They are temporarily respected. But permanent dominance, the kind of power that makes other men willingly submit, the kind of power where your absence is stronger than your presence, that is an art held only by the architects of necessity. They taught you how to be strong. I will teach you how to be indispensable. In this monologue, we will strip bare the 10 silent laws to transition you from an influential man to a permanent dominator. This is not a lesson in how to fake authority. This is how to become the foundation no one dares to tread on. I guarantee this. If you miss even one law, you will remain a successful, but replaceable, man. Perpetual power demands you stay until the end. Comment, necessity, below right now, to affirm your readiness. Then, eliminate all distractions. Because what I am about to reveal is the true science of psychological control. The first law, the non-verbal exam. The aura of necessity requires no speech. It is an examination others must pass simply by entering your presence. Machiavelli understood this. Humans are creatures driven by instinct, and their instincts read you before their rationale can even form a thought. You must be the man whose body others unconsciously react to in the following ways. The stately pace. Speed is the mark of anxiety. The hurried man chases time. The slow man is whom time waits for. Move with deliberate and grounded calm. Each step must carry the weight of a sovereign. When you do this, you signal to the world, I am not the pressure. I am the pressure. The positional power. Never take a passive seat. Seek the elevated point. Demand the space. The weak huddle. The dominant expand and claim ownership of their physical surroundings. Do not ask for permission. Take it. The icy stare. This is the most primal tool of dominance. Most men either dart their eyes away, or they stare aggressively. Both are signs of weakness. You must hold your ground. Your eyes must be a window into the void. When you look at someone, hold it for 1 second longer than their comfort allows. But look with calm, emotionless intent, as if you are analyzing an inanimate object. The one who looks away first is the one who willingly accepts the lower position. Once you have mastered this non-verbal exam, you will find you no longer have to ask for respect. It will be a biological reaction others cannot control. They will submit to your body before they submit to your will. The second law, the power of terrifying silence. The weak fear silence. They fill it with explanations, unnecessary noise, and excuses. They reveal their motives, their vulnerabilities, and their fears in a continuous stream of words. You, as the architect of necessity, must treat silence as the armor protecting your mind and your strategy. Your silence must ascend to a level of the terrifying. The calculated delay. Never answer immediately. Always have a slight tactical pause before you speak, even if the answer is ready. That pause shows you are unflustered. It makes others wait for your words. It communicates, my words have gravity. I must weigh them carefully before you receive them. That moment of waiting transforms your words into a command, not a casual exchange, the echo of command. After you have delivered a statement, a directive, or a challenge, lean back and be silent. Do not explain. Do not justify. Allow your words to reverberate in the space. Most people will feel the pressure and be the first to break that silence. When they speak, they are offering up information to soothe their own discomfort. You merely stand still. Listen. Collect. Your silence forces them to incriminate themselves. The language of scarcity. Your words must be pure gold, not dust. Speak little. Speak in short, absolute power statements. Do not say, "I think we should review this strategy because I am concerned that the competitor might find a vulnerability in it." Say, "The strategy is modified. The risk is unacceptable." Silence is what makes others feel you always have more to say than you are currently saying. This creates an impenetrable aura of mystery and dread. The more silent you become, the more the world screams to fill that void, and it is in their screaming that you find your leverage. The third law. The detachment of the architect. Emotions are chains. They bind you to the expectations of others, to their approval, to their meaningless insults. The weak react. The powerful design. The detachment I speak of is not soullessness. It is strategy. It is the ability to observe a chessboard on fire and still maintain the steady hand to move the king. The conversion of praise. Praise is a trap. It is intended to create dependence on the praiser. When you receive it, never display excessive delight. Accept it with a calm composure, as if it is a self-evident truth that requires no validation. This communicates, "This is my standard. Your confirmation is correct, but not necessary." You refuse to hand them the emotional lever, the stillness against insult. When insulted, men either flare up in anger or become defensive. Both are a collapse. You must be silent. Look at the offender with a calm, indifferent gaze, as if you are observing a child's tantrum. Do not react. Your non-reaction transforms their insult into their own weakness. You have disarmed them with your restraint. The icy generosity. Never perform an act of kindness because you must. Perform it as a calculated decision. Your generosity must be conditional, scarce, and unpredictable. This ensures the recipient never takes it for granted. Kindness is not a bond. It is a leash you choose to loosen or tighten. Detachment transforms you into the architect of every interaction. You are no longer an actor on the stage. You are the playwright. The fourth law. The ghostly management of time. If you are readily available, you are a utility. If you are scarce, you are a value. Ordinary men sell their time. The architect of necessity weaponizes it, engineering false scarcity. Never allow others to claim your time casually. Every appointment must be scheduled. Every meeting must have a defined purpose. Your aura must whisper, "My time is the most finite currency on this planet." When you appear rarely, your presence carries the weight of an event. The art of disappearance. When you reach the peak of influence, you must strategically withdraw. Do not become common. Leave a void. Let others feel the emptiness of your absence. Absence is not weakness. It is a silent reminder of your necessity. When you return, the demand for your presence will have doubled. The client selection. Your time should only be invested in people and projects that amplify your necessity. Be ruthless in cutting ties with those who only consume your energy without increasing your power. This is not arrogance. This is the portfolio management of power. When you control your time, you control others' desire for you. You force them to pursue you, and not the reverse. The fifth law. The creation of the fearful shadow. Power is not what you do today. It is the shadow your actions cast upon the future of others. You must cultivate an image where others believe your capacity for punishment far exceeds your actual display. The sharp precedent. Do not punish frequently. Punish decisively. Your retribution for a severe betrayal must be public, unforgettable, and unforgiving. The goal is not revenge. The goal is to set a precedent that every other observer registers. Challenging you results in irreparable loss. A single, strategic act of cruelty instills more fear than 100 empty threats. The ambiguity of capacity. Never reveal the entirety of your resources or your skills. Let others guess. A mysterious man whose true strength is unquantifiable is more terrifying than a man who flaunts every weapon. Your ambiguity is your fortress. They cannot fight what they cannot see. The narrative ownership. You must not merely perform the acts. You must control how others recount them. Sow the seeds of stories about your precision, your coldness, and your invincibility. Let the fear of others paint your portrait. You provide the framework, and their minds will create the monster they must submit to. Your presence must haunt. It must be a constant reminder that even in your absence, your shadow rules. The sixth law, the leverage of insecurity. You do not rule with a sword. You rule with the invisible threads attached to the insecurities of others. Every man carries a psychological void he is desperate to fill. The need for recognition, the fear of isolation, the hunger for power, the root need diagnosis. Observe. Listen. Find the one thing others constantly seek or desperately fear losing. If they crave validation, make your approval the rarest and most valuable commodity in their life. Your single nod should carry more weight than the applause of a crowd. If they fear isolation, subtly remind them that their position in your orbit is a privilege, not a right. Your absence from their events will speak volumes. If they seek money or opportunity, become the gatekeeper to those things. Never hand over the key. Force them to continuously prove their worth to you. The unequal exchange. Never give more than you receive, especially psychologically. When you employ leverage, you must take back submission in exchange for the approval, opportunity, or safety you provide. It is a transaction, and you must ensure your value always outweighs what you give. The author of the idea, master manipulation, is not telling others what to do. It is planting the seed of the idea in their mind and letting them believe they came up with it themselves. You merely lay the groundwork. They willingly construct their own prison. When you hold this leverage, you do not have to command. You simply change the environmental conditions, and they will self-regulate their behavior to align with your will. The seventh law. Transcending dichotomy. The man who can be defeated is the man who is predictable. People will try to frame you. Are you benevolent or cruel? Are you friend or foe? You must rise above these binaries. You must be both, and yet fully neither. The disarming kindness. Kindness must be employed as a sudden blow or a scarce reward. After an act of cold discipline, become unexpectedly generous. This contrast paralyzes the opponent's judgment. They cannot categorize you. They cannot fight what they cannot understand. The apathetic cruelty. Your cruelty must never stem from personal anger. It must be pure logic. When you must cut out a member or a relationship, do so with the calm of a surgeon who feels no malice, only necessity. This makes your action far more frightening, for it eliminates the hope that emotion might sway you. The complex reputation. The aura you radiate must be a controlled contradiction. You are trustworthy, yet unpredictable. You are generous, yet ruthless. You are silent, yet your words carry force. People will whisper about you. He is a good man, but I would never challenge him. This complexity ensures that no one can easily build a strategy against you. By refusing to be framed, you become an unsolvable variable, and that is a position of absolute power. The eighth law. the merciless discipline of abstinence. Your dominion over others is meaningless if you are a slave to yourself. Most men are bought cheaply by temptations. Easy praise, easy luxury, easy indulgence, easy sloth. You must abstain from the things that soften the will, internal deprivation. Deliberately deprive yourself of things that make you weak. Never allow your body or mind to become too comfortable. Comfort breeds softness, and softness crumbles the aura. Practice austerity. Force yourself to take the harder path when no one is watching. That is the forge. Reject excessive praise. Let your achievement be the motivation, not the stopping point for self-satisfaction. Ignoring the trigger. Do not allow others to pull the wire on your emotions. They will try. They will attempt to find the trigger point that makes you lose control. The highest abstinence is abstaining from reaction to those ploys. When you are the man who cannot be provoked, you become a sleeping volcano, far more terrifying than an erupting one. Self-mastery as the supreme boundary. Your self-control is the first and final boundary of your empire. If you cannot control your own rage, lust, or laziness, you have revealed your weakness to any sharp adversary. Others will bow to you because they recognize they can never achieve this level of iron discipline over themselves. You must be merciless with yourself before you can be merciful with the world. This abstinence is what transforms your dominance into an internal necessity. The ninth law, the fusion with cold reality. Ordinary men are ruled by comfortable illusions, the illusion of eternal loyalty, of fairness, of simple luck. You must fuse with the cold reality that Machiavelli taught. Men are driven by self-interest, nothing more, nothing less. Eradicating romantic loyalty. Never trust in blind allegiance. Trust in balanced interest. Those who follow you do so not because they love you, but because the benefit of being near you outweighs the cost of leaving you. Your duty is to constantly re-evaluate that balance to ensure the scale tips in your favor. Embracing uncomfortable truths. You must be the only person in the room unafraid to confront failure and betrayal. When everyone else is searching for excuses, you are seeking the brutal truth to sharpen your strategy. This absolute acceptance of uncomfortable reality is the shield against self-deception, acting from necessity. Your every action is not a choice, but a logical inevitability based on cold reality. This removes all sense of guilt or regret. You are not cruel. You are merely enforcing the physical laws of power. When you are unbound by illusion, you become unmanipulable. You operate on a plane of reality others cannot touch. The 10th law. The permanent dominance of the prepared. All that we have built, the silence, the detachment, the strategic cruelty, leads to this. The state of permanent dominance. Permanent dominance is not winning a battle. It is ensuring that no battle is even waged because the outcome is predetermined. Maintaining the strategic gap. Never allow rivals or subordinates to catch up. You must constantly prepare for the next 5 moves while they are reacting to your last. This gap is not just in knowledge, it is in mindset. Always ask, who can replace me, and how do I make that functionally impossible? Investing in the intangible legacy. Your aura must become a living mythology. You must invest in structures and relationships that continue to execute your will, even when you are not actively involved. True greatness lies in the capacity to dominate without continuous presence, becoming the energy source. Ultimately, your necessity is cemented when you are no longer an element, but the energy system that runs the entire structure. People cannot leave you because their very survival depends on the flow of influence, resources, and protection that you provide. You cannot be defeated when defeating you means the collapse of the entire system they are trying to protect. This is not a threat. It is the physical law of power. Permanent dominance is when people willingly choose to bow to you. Not because they fear your punishment, but because they fear a world without you as the ruler. You have endured the 10 laws. You have stared into the abyss of dark psychology and Machiavellian realism. Now, you have a choice: to return to the comfort of replaceability, or to step into your necessity. If these laws have sharpened your will, if you feel the weight of this truth, you know what to do. Action is the only language of power. Like this video. Because power is never given, it must be claimed. Subscribe to this Machiavellian Mind channel and turn on notifications. The road to dominion requires continuous sharpening. And one last time, comment below with the phrase, "I am the foundation." Remember this: those who know these laws will rule. Those who ignore them will submit. Necessity is not hope. It is destiny.